It isn't as crazy as it sounds. It apparently was going to be Halo Combat Evolved, or a similar variant of the game, ported onto the DS. It was later scrapped. Only a few maps were ever made of the game, and it was only multiplayer maps. Suffice to say it was cancelled early in development, and without the campaign.
Here with Mark, and we're going to talk about a little game called Halo DS. Once upon a time there was this game that was in development. It wasn't created by a garage developer. It was actually done by a major studio, major publisher, AAA publisher. And at one time they were really hoping to bring it out. Unfortunately, for reasons we can't discuss, it never came to be. Obviously you're not playing it right now. However, we are. Yeah, and we figured there's a lot of doubt about this game, whether or not it really existed. And we figured what better way to shed some light on that than just to show it to you. So we're going to do that now. This is Halo DS, and you're going to see some better videos on my blog. And you've got basically a multi-card play, a single card play, and a model viewer. We're going to do multi-card play, and I'm going to host the game here with Bozon. And you can see this is basically just a multiplayer mode right now. But
yeah, pretty much right now it's only one level, but you can run around Zanzibar and kick a little ass. Oh shoot!
And I'm probably going to get my butt kicked by Bozon. Oh, sorry Bozon, you die. But there you go. It's it's Halo. It plays like Halo, looks like Halo, sounds like Halo, and it's definitely, there's some different control options. I'd like to up the sensitivity on everything a little bit, but all in all, it's pretty good, and it's really unfortunate that this never came to retail, because I think a lot of people really would have been blown away. Really would have liked this. I know you are flipping out over it.
I'm sick for it. You can dual wield and kill dudes with grenades and then pick up the plasma rifle and go at it. It's pretty sweet.
I mean, this is an old thing right here that we're playing.
Yeah, it was probably 1 year back. Maybe.
At least a year, more than a year. Obviously canceled, not coming out. But it's cool. It's really kind of pretty neat. And had this come out with Halo, or even with Halo 2, it would have been huge.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm really hoping maybe people out there, the parties that could make this happen, maybe reconsider, and maybe now that Halo 3 is out, maybe we'll get it. All right.
Mr. Meaty was a Canadian sitcom puppet show known for how creepy it is. It's about two lazy teens working at a restaurant. It was critically panned for being off-putting, crass, and unfunny. Only a handful of episodes were available. 2 seasons, 2 specials, and 17 shorts were made, but a lot of it was never archived, and some of it wasn't even released. Considering Nickelodeon is too scared to rerun the episodes due to poor ratings, which is likely the reason why these episodes were lost to begin with, it's going to stay that way.
Hi, my name is...
Josh, I know we've just met. I feel like I've known you for years.
What the fuck? No!
Where the fuck? You're talking.
No one knew where the bro explaining meme came from. It was first posted on R-Funny as a meme. It's allegedly from a baseball game, St. Louis Cardinals versus the Houston Astros, but no one is for sure about it. The voice actors of Shinji and Asuka from Neon Genesis Evangelion did a PSA on AIDS. The two would have sex, and there would be a question of who is killing who. It was lost for a time, but it was eventually uploaded to YouTube.
One of these young people is killing you. Can you tell which? Neither can we.
What the fuck?
At E3 2004, a tech demo for the at the time new Nintendo DS was shown, and it had some of the only footage of the gameplay ever shown. It was named after the NES game Balloon Fight. It is said to feature staple Nintendo characters like Mario. What little was developed of the game would later become Yoshi Touch and Go. No version of the game early in development has ever surfaced. This game would serve as a prequel to Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon, and the Blade of Light. It was added on the SatellaView for the Super Famicom, and was one of the first in the series to utilize voice acting. It only ever saw a release in Japan. The original ROM format versions of the game are not available, and since there hasn't been a release in any other area other than Japan, translation has likely been very difficult, but it has been done. Only Doctor Who is capable of having not only media attached to it be lost, but the documentaries about it be lost too. This was a lost documentary about the show and its history. It was produced in the style of the rock and roll years, 1984-1994. There was a segment for each decade. Due to the documentary using copyrighted music, it was never released on DVD, making it much more rare. Snippets would be found in time, and eventually the entire series was uploaded to Google Drive by Exandion, and it was later uploaded to Internet Archive.
And you don't seem to understand. A shame you seemed an honest man.
Chris McKinstry was a bright but troubled internet software developer, pioneering in the field of AI, and becoming a multi-millionaire. The problem was that he was a narcissist, projecting all of his insecurities onto other people. He once held a store hostage, and threatened to kill himself due to a mental break. He wanted to pioneer in online entertainment by making the first web show. This failed spectacularly, leading to his downward spiral.
Cr6 is our showcase interactive clickable reality. It's a internet-based soap opera, for lack of a better term. It's actually darker than a soap opera. If you click on a person's head, for example, you'll probably get their thoughts displaying in the lower window. Once you have a person or an object selected, you have some navigation controls, so you end up being able to surf a web of a reality. There's some, quote, soap operas on the net, and prior to clickable reality model, they were almost all based on diaries, where you would select a character and read their diary entries. They're a little light on content. Yeah. Our story is deep, very deep. It's mystic, it will hold people for decades.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of creative people here. I guess because of the cold, we've got a lot of time to devote to coming up with new and interesting ideas. So, but yeah, there's no lack of talent or creativity here. That's for sure. I think Cr6 appeals to people because it's more of an interactive kind of a thing. They can get as much or as little as they want out of the soap opera. They can make it basically their own. And I also think it's probably because our writing is going to be a little bit more intriguing, make people want to come into the story more than some of the stuff that's out there right now, which is a little more bubblegum kind of pop culture kind of a thing. I guess we're going for a sort of stylistic look, maybe a slightly darker look, really rich kind of, a lot of artistic flavor into it. Try to package shot with more of an artistic sort of theme. Well, there was a very large pool of people that came out to our casting call to draw from. The people that we went for obviously were sort of a look, sort of an age group. I'd say there's some diversity in there. There's different types of people, different types of looks. I guess they're around the same age, but then we tried to change things around a little bit by putting in sort of an older figure, a patriarch, who's played by Robert Ryder. I can't really comment too much about future storylines or anything really until we go on air. All I can say is that we're going to try to keep it as interesting as possible and try to keep people coming back. It's new, it's different, it's definitely a challenge. I find it quite exciting, actually. It's similar in some ways to film. The production side is very similar, actually getting the product produced. Right now we're basically just, instead of using 35mm movie film, we're using 35mm, photography film.
We think we're gonna be defining the standard from now on. All interactive programming we hope to become clickful realities. We're specifically giving away the software, the CAD software that's called CR-CAD, written in Java, so that anyone, all the basement Quentin Tarantinos in the world, can produce clickable realities, put them out on the net, and for a small royalty, use our name in our software. Every page served, we're projecting earnings of about 6 cents based on banner advertisement and product placement. And plus, merchandising the same way you merchandise any television program or a movie. I'm beyond confident. Just the concept was strong enough for us to end up before 300 million people on CNN. Now I know I have something to sell. Cr6 is our showcase reality. We are building a digital broadcast network. We already have the biggest broadcast footprint of any entertainment network in the world. We can go into any country in an interactive format. It won't be long before we have real-time video, just like television, except it's interactive. We're giving away CR-CAD so that people, it's like giving away cameras and saying, send us your tapes. And we'll get a whole industry using this technology and using the trademark clickable reality, because that's what they are, they're clickable realities for people to explore. The same way I grew up with Sesame Street, they'll grow up with all sorts of interactive programming. Children will expect to be able to control and will learn to control instead of me and the rest of my generation where we learn to sit and watch the TV and do nothing.
Though the show was praised for its narrative and interactive aspects, it would be a catastrophic failure, losing $1 million of its supposed costs. He really did not take it well when this happened. Already being bipolar, this failure caused his mental state to spiral. He would later flee to Chile due to his debts.
Everyone looks great. Quite watchable.
While the technology side of this site rates high on the Gee-Whiz scale, the characters are what will keep you coming back for more every week.
In the early 2000s, he would work on a project involving AI. It involved uploading your consciousness online. This would prove to be the last thing he worked on. He lived in horrid living conditions in Chile, and this compounded his mental anguish. This culminated in his suicide. He would write about it online.
I overdosed in 1997 and spent weeks in intensive care on vitamin K because my blood would not clot, and I did severe liver damage, which is why I do not drink now, if you must know. I am feeling really impaired. And yes, time will tell what happens to me. I really have to get out of here. I cannot type and want to vomit. Time to go hide.
The websites are available, but the show is inaccessible. There are testimonies from the crew that worked with him that he was difficult to work with, was full of himself, and didn't take criticism well. There were newspapers about the show as well, and the actors were interviewed about their experience with the show.
I was totally typecast as an alcoholic former model, and it didn't last very long, but it was a cool way to spend a couple of months. It all happened before I had internet access, or even an email address, so I really wish that I had archived some of the pictures. I do have some VHS tapes from the media kit that shows a clip of us on CNN and footage of me coming out of a limo and signing autographs. See? I'm kind of a big deal.
Chris conned me into being a co-executive producer instead of taking a part as an actor. I worked with him at his house until it became frightening.
CNN had covered Cr6, and it had footage of this, but even that was lost. The show has been practically wiped off the face of the earth.
Leave a like, share, and subscribe for more. Let's hit 100 likes.